Welcome to D&D Journey of the 5th edition. Join our various gaming groups as we play the 5th edition of Dungeons & Dragons. And maybe just hang out and chat about gaming in general. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Hi, this is Kelly, aka Trixie from Ragnarok and Roll, assigned to Ragnarok Story, and Tilda Wimblewick from D&D Journey of the 5th edition. First off, I would just like to say thank you to everyone for listening to our varied adventures, as well as for rating us on iTunes and rpgpodcast.com. If you haven't rated us yet, we would greatly appreciate it if you could. And if you're looking for more ways to support our efforts, we are now on Patreon, a great site where you can help us continue making more podcasts, as well as some special surprises for our patrons. If you can, please look us up at www.patreon.com/cppn. Every little bit helps. And again, thank you for listening.
Okay, so there we were.
There I was.
Guys in the Five Fingers. You've got two big old wagons, your little war wagons. You've got
That's right.
supposedly a cargo of corpses in the back, even though realistically you guys know it's totally alchemical components, according to what your client said, that you need to smuggle from one end of the Five Fingers to the other.
No, we're transporting dangerous, toxic, plague bodies for research.
I mean, there is a reason why this is called Hospice Island.
Yep.
Because once before they had a viral outbreak of plague, and it ended up just being cholera. But plague, and you have to go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bridges to get the cargo there. And you do remember you have at least a 2-hour head start on the actual smugglers that were coming for these items. I should totally remind you that, to be fair.
Plenty of time.
Plenty of time. Plenty of time. It's not like there'll be any delays.
Did I miss a section?
No, I don't think so.
No? You guys
I didn't think we had
bluffed
made
your
it out
way-
of the warehouse.
Well, yeah, you basically got the wagons loaded up. You're at the warehouse, and you had that dramatic moment where she's got her gun pointed at you guys.
Okay, that's what
I was hoping you forgot
the
that.
gun at my head.
Nope. But I was giving you what the job was first to get you back in place. And then the camera swivels on into the warehouse. Da-da-da-da-da. As remember, she's got her gun out there, and the gal who's obviously the boss lady here wants to know what the hell's going on.
I don't get paid if you kill the trollkin or the doctor. I am so sorry, lady. Like, I am just trying to do my job.
I mean,
my name is Mia. My friend behind you, his name is Scotty. It's been a very long day. I am just trying to get cargo I don't really want to deal with to where it needs to be so I can get paid. Your friend tried to kill the the trollkin and the doctor, and I have to protect them. That is my job. I'm sorry if he was your friend. It's only business.
Only business, you say. She's looking, she's giving you the side eye while she has her pistol up.
okay, clearly the organization has been infiltrated deeply and is going through a bit of a power struggle. And you're caught in the middle. And clearly you do not want to, you don't want any of this. This is not a headache you need. and we're sorry. But honestly, eventually this is going to clear out. And yes, you could just kill us all, but it would be in your best interest, casting suggestion, to get us and those packages out of here as quick as possible and not deal with it. Because if you just kill us, it's going to look like you betrayed the organization, and I really don't think you want that.
Ooh. Give me a deception.
Okay. Do I get advantage because I cast suggestion?
Since you casted suggestion, yes.
Okay.
You got this, boom.
Thank goodness.
Okay. And what is your spell DC, by the way? It doesn't matter.
It's 14, but yeah, it doesn't matter.
And immediately, she, with your beautiful 19 to deception and her roll of 2, which is a 4 for save, her eyes kind of glaze over for a second as she, kind of lazily slaps her gun down to her hip, and she looks at her crew and she says, "You heard them. There's been a schism in the organization. We need to get them loaded and get them out of here now, so it's not our problem." Because, and she totally looks over at Mia and says, "This is all just business. And dump that corpse into the water. We don't need it staining our floors." And you look around and the floor's covered with stains and messes.
I might suggest you might want to burn it. Just to be on the safe side. Do you have a furnace?
She looks around and you see she's only got a couple burn barrels that they've got, nothing close to a furnace.
It will still help. Use the burn barrel and then put it into the...
And she gestures to the guys and says, "You heard the physician." As these guys look at the burn barrel and look at the body and they're like, "You want us to put the body in a barrel and burn it? That's going to stink the place up." And she's like, "Take it outside." As she looks at you guys, I'm assuming you're going to start help loading. Is her guys
100%.
literally
We're
going
moving,
step?
I start kind of hurting her people to help load it once she's confirmed we're getting them.
Mask, people. I just pull up my little mask.
Safety first.
Contagious bodies. As they're loading up your wagon. It takes them like a good 15 minutes to get everything loaded and locked up and ready to go.
Did you need a signature or anything?
And she just gives you a snarky look. And she just looks at you and says, Take these troubles out of my hair."
Wouldn't have it any other
Onward
way.
to payday.
And about that point, you guys see that they've finished looting this guy's corpse and throw him in the barrel. Everybody's divvying up his different stuff.
Inside me is dying that she didn't get that stuff.
Every time you see them reach and pull out another coin purse somewhere, you're just like, "Oh, the coins, they jingle into my heart."
Oh.
You shouldn't have such expensive hobbies.
So we get this screen swipe as the last one of her goons slides the last box into your wagon and closes the door and gives it a smack, lets you know it's secure. Your really nervous drivers are like It's 10 o'clock at night. Do you know where your wagon is?
Okay.
I guess off we go then.
Yeah.
So as you guys get in the wagons to go, quick question. Who is at the pilot shotgun seat and who's in the back of their wagon?
I think weren't we gonna put Boom Howler?
I thought Theo and Boom were at the front,
Yeah.
and Callus and I were in the back of each respective wagon.
I think so.
That
I just need
sounds
to be able to shoot.
familiar.
Yeah.
So I'm going to slide the wagons down there. The left one is wagon 1. The right one is wagon 2. Feel free to put yourselves in the wagon somewhere so we know where you are as you guys are driving across town.
Let's
Which
see.
one's
Oh, yeah,
Callus,
we
you
have
want left or right?
Okay.
2 wagons, huh?
Number 1 is left.
For one, I want him to go first because he's more talky than I am.
You are pretty darn talky.
I know, but you are. I mean, it is your bread and butter.
It is. Yes, I am a charming devil or something.
He's pretty talky, but you're the one that's actually very charming.
Yes.
All right. And then here.
I mean, you're better
And-
looking by far.
I put Gunny in with Callus. He stays with Theo.
Yeah. I mean, we're actually all fairly talky, surprisingly, because I mean, I have a 5 persuasion,
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
5 deception, so
And
5
the 5
intimidation.
fingers. And the
So-
5 fingers, it's good to be very convincing.
Yes.
Right. If I
Well,
can,
it certainly gives for a longer lifespan if you do.
I mean, if I can intimidate you, I don't have to shoot you and waste money on a bullet.
Oh, see, there we go. And for the pragmatic view. By the way, I absolutely love that picture of you and Mia.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was
It captured
adorable.
the essence. It truly did.
Mhm. I was like, that's fantastic. Good job, co-pilot.
So you guys are in there. The drivers are totally waiting for your signal to leave because they're nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. Because that's
Yeah,
literally what the one driver says.
Well, let's head out. You know where
Okay.
we're going?
As you know, they basically said you wanted this cargo taken to shore, right?
Yes. All the way
That's
to
going to be
shore.
a long ride. Are we going to be stopping anywhere along the way?
So
Not unless we have to, I
No,
wouldn't
I
think.
mean, we have a deadline.
Only at
And we got plague on the outside of this. Like, it won't look good if we pull over for burgers.
only at the official checkpoints we cannot avoid, if you know what I mean.
And your girl
okay.
needs a bit of a rest to regain some focus points as golf slots because I used them all to kill that guy.
Because you unloaded everything on him.
He had to die quick, though.
He
Yeah.
twitched. He twitched.
So your wagon chief's doing his thing, saying, I know what you mean by avoiding checkpoints, winky face. And as he says that, let's see if he actually knows what he's talking about. Oh yeah, he's part of your smuggler friends. He knows where to go to avoid the hubbub. As you know, you guys see people are giving you guys a bit of a little wide berth as you guys take off from the warehouse here, because it is Hospice Island where 6 people are, and plague. So they see the plague sign in the wagons, and people are giving that wagon a wide berth.
Yep.
So
That's
for
what the signs are for.
And let me switch to the map of the Five Fingers so you can see your progress. Yes, we have a wagon on the map.
Do we get a little red line going across?
Yeah. Dun 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 dun.
You want a red line? You get a red line. Do 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 do. As everything seems to be good as you're going through, and you get to your first bridge, which of course you know it's got. Yes,
Don't
I
burn
give
it.
you a red line on the map. As you get to the first bridge, where there's a couple members of the excuse me, of the watch there, as they're immediately stopping and checking, like within wagons. Like if you've ever been to border checkpoints, it's a border checkpoint. Especially since your wagon has plague marks, they are like, whoa, pull to the side.
I am wearing my plague doctor mask, but it's like a half mask. You can,
And you're in wagon number 2, right?
Yep.
Are you in the wagon or are you up in the shotgun seat?
I'm up in the shotgun seat.
I'm all covered up inside, masked up and stuff.
I'm going to go back to this map and adjust that. Nope, wrong tool. Yeah, there we go. Now you're up in the front.
Okay.
Okay, and the driver totally looks over at Boom Howler, and the second wagon looks over at Theo as the watch guy comes over, and you totally notice that he has because it's now like 2 a.m. that you guys get to the first bridge. It's got lamps lit up. It's all nice and spacious.
Yeah.
There's almost no traffic, but the guy sees
That's why
your
you move
sign
plague bodies at night.
Yeah, and he's just like he waves over, and a guy comes out that looks fairly professional medically. He's got that apron with the blood stains.
Oh, that's a professional.
Or he's a butcher.
He's the barber, butcher, and doctor, dentist.
And sometimes the jerky maker. And the guard comes up, and he's like, "Oi, what's going on here?"
Moving some bodies to the dock here. They've got a new treatment they're experimenting on. The dock here needs these bodies hauled off to the mainland. We're moving them in the middle of the night to, kind of keep it on the down low, not spread a panic through the public. You should be masked up before you get much closer. But we've got to get these to the mainlands to get some experiments. There's a treatment that could, if it works, turn Hospice Island into a paradise, a place you would want to live.
Paradise, you say? And go ahead and give me your deception. As you say that, he reaches back into his pocket and he pulls out a white hanky, and he immediately ties the hanky around his mouth as a mask. He's been through this routine before. Then, the physician comes up and totally pulls out of his collar. He's got one of those real doctor masks, and he ties it up behind his face. And he says, "Miracle cure experiments and such. This is something I should see. I am a trained physician. Allow me to see your cargo." As the watch dude is totally like, whatever, but the physician is like, "I want to see what you're talking about. I like experiments." Are we getting a hollering from the second wagon?
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
I want to check something.
Oh, Theo's about to play her I'm bougie card.
I'd be like, "What's the hold up there? We got to get going."
It's like what is the hold up? We have I mean, these are critical. We have to get these two on a destination in a timely manner before their all viability is gone.
And
the quack
What?
here wants to look at the
I
specimens.
love it.
Absolutely not. We are under strict order. We must not tamper open the seals until we get to the proper destination. It would completely nullify the experiment. Its entire thing would have been wasted.
I'm not a
And
doctor, but I agree with the doctor. Could we not open these? Because, like, this is a job. I'm not trying to become an experiment.
It has to be opened in the proper environs in order to see the sincerity of the experiment as well as the safety protocols must be in place for all participants or nearby inhabitants and islands, in fact.
And the doctor, of course, gives the militia captain a gesture, and the captain gives a gesture, and like three of his guys stand up and kind of walk over and put a hand nicely on the horses pulling the wagons. They rub the horses to keep them calm, and the left hands grab the bridles. As the doctor and captain go back to talk to this other person on the second wagon, and the physician looks up and says, I am authorized to make sure that no plague leaves this island. I would like to know more information here. And you are, as he looks up at Theo, holding up his lamp to light up Theo's face in her plague doctor mask.
I'm going to use. Let's see here. What's my deception? Okay. What?
I just wanted to hum a little note of encouragement to Theo.
You're gonna bardic inspiration a solemn tune of Death March.
Yes.
Does
Just
it
under
look
my
like?
breath.
Does this guy have any type of markings of the Golden Crucible?
You know what? Give me either an insight or perception real quick.
Let's see here. Well, they're both shite, so we'll just go with perception.
Ooh, not
With
that
your
shite.
natural 20. Remember when I said he lifted up the lantern to light you up to see your face? You clearly see on his left hand where his sleeves are rolled up to the elbow, he has a tattoo of the Golden Crucible on his forearm. It's totally that Golden Crucible frat boy tat.
The generic, it's like, all right. Then I am going to use, I'm going to sort of name drop one of the less, they're well known and well respected lady physicians in the Golden Crucible, but they're not like super. They're not like I'm taking a chance that he won't recognize the person.
They're like a hermit.
Yeah, and like that they're famous for their research, type of thing. But high up in the Golden Crucible. Okay, and I'm going to use my inspiration to basically, do you know who I am, young man? And
as he's looking at your plague doctor mask.
Yeah, exactly. So basically doing the whole, and I am a noble, so I'm highborn, so I can that's one of my shticks,
Mm-hmm.
It's like, do you know who I am? I'm going to name drop Philomena Filibuster. I am Philomena Filibuster of the Golden Crucible, and I have an extreme deadline on my experiments. And you, sir, are interfering. And I want your name, because I will be reporting this to the Golden Crucible Chancellor at my earliest opportunity.
And go
Okay.
ahead and give me a deception with advantage. And remember, Boomhowler did give
Are
you
you
bardic
fucking
inspiration
No, you've got a D8 from your
if you'd
bardic
like to use
inspiration.
it.
Okay. Yes, I definitely want to use it. Okay, hold on. Let me roll a D8.
And that was funny with the Dr. Phil reference there.
Are you fucking kidding me? A 13.
That's better than a 4.
Yeah, a solid 13. As you were doing this, and there's like a wagon that passes you guys as you're making this whole outburst, and the physician looks at the militia guy. The militia guy totally gives the physician this shrug, like whatever. And it's on you to the physician. The physician just sighs and kind of reaches his right hand up to his temples and rubs them both at once as he says, if you're on Golden Crucible business, I guess there's only one thing I can say, which is make sure that you maintain all proper procedures. And if you would like, please proceed across the bridge appropriately. Do you require a militia escort?
I don't think we wish to, trying to think of the word that I'm like, it's like,
You
it's like,
acquiesce to
no,
the request?
we don't want to create more of a commotion. We want people, we need to keep this quiet. I mean, we don't want to cause panic, but I am following all procedures.
And
or would
he
be
nods.
if I hadn't been delayed. Time is of the essence.
And the watch commander looks back at one of his guys that's over, underneath a nice eave, relaxing at a table with coffee, and he signals this hand signal that's obviously some kind of like gesture from the watch. And the guy goes over and he pulls a hooded lantern off a post and he starts flicking Morse code in the lantern across the bridge.
Anyone speak Morse code?
Do I from my time at military school? Or would Callus?
You do, but in the wagon, you can't quite see it.
Yeah, I was going to say we're in the wagon.
I don't think I speak semaphore, but not Morse code.
As a ship captain, would you not know Morse code?
With
no, I would know semaphore. I'd know flags.
Oh.
But
it's the original Morse code.
Yeah.
Okay, and the watch commander totally says, okay, head across the bridge, but I don't want any shenanigans, and we don't need any outbreaks on any of the 5 fingers.
Of course,
am I clear?
I'm not. It's like, I want no shenanigans either.
I don't want any outbreaks anywhere near me.
And he gives this little double whistle. And as soon as he gives the double whistle, boom howler, you totally see the watch members holding your horses immediately let go and get away from your path. And the guy gestures for you to get back on the main thoroughfare and head across the bridge.
I'll pat the driver and say, move him out.
Okay.
We're burning midnight.
And the driver totally does that forearm rubbing his forehead, sweat off, like, whew, that was a stressful situation.
I just glare at the guy through the gun slits as we roll past.
Ominous menace.
Glaring eyes.
Wait a minute, they were supposed to be corpses.
As you guys cross the bridge and you totally realize the other side got the message, and they flick some flashy light back across the bridge. And as soon as you guys get there, you have no resistance as they just wave you across the bridge as quickly as possible. And once you guys cross the bridge, you totally see one of the watch members get the lamp out and he's flashing across the bridge, basically signaling that you guys have crossed. Then you get to Captain's Island, the island that's bustling with business 24/7. The roads are nice and cobbled, so you feel a nice comfy ride as you're going through town. As your driver, you're trusting him to take the lead, or do you have a shortcut?
I think y'all have the map.
I mean,
Shortcut.
he's a professional smuggler, I think. Unless you know a shortcut, Callus. I'm better on water than on land, honestly.
I mean, you are a pirate.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean,
Boomhowler's like the pirate Porthos. See, he's heard of it.
I'm sure he's a good guy. He knows his stuff. Never steered me wrong yet.
Yet is the operative word.
So as you say that beautiful yet word, you guys, you're traveling across the lesser known paths across the island, and there's a big traffic stop that happens there. And on Captain's Island, literally there is business going 24/7 of offloading cargo and stuff. And as you take the way that takes you through the usual cargo routes near the docks, off to the western side of the island, there's a huge traffic pileup. Looks like two wagons ran into each other and knocked one of the wheels off. There's folks arguing and fighting. At one point, you're hearing, some people walking by going, "Oh my, I hope the watch can sort it all out." And it's about 4 or 5 wagons ahead of you guys, whatever's going on. But it has you guys stopped for like a good 15, 20 minutes. Does somebody want to get off the wagon and go check it out? Or are you guys going to just sit and wait in traffic? As your driver totally looks over at you, Boomhowler, and goes, "Captain's Island. You never go here between 9 p.m. and 9 p.m.
Yeah, we better get this sorted out.
You can stay up there if you want.
Don't let my random dice rolls worry you.
You're gonna.
I'll go up there.
Okay, Callus. Yeah, take care of this.
I pop out of the back, make sure it's all sealed back up, and then I make my way up to the front. What's going on here? We need this stuff moved off to the side. We got important business that needs to be moved through here.
So, with your passive perception of ridiculous.
Yeah, 17.
Yep, it's ridiculous. Yay, one of them made the roll. You totally notice while there's, your 2 wagons plus 3 others all parked in literally bumper to bumper traffic here. It's literally horse to cart traffic. You totally notice that at one point, whoop, there goes a little grifter thief, and whoop, there goes another grifter thief. 3 of the wagons in front of you, you notice 2 of them have somebody come by and open up and steal some shit out of the back. Because this is like regular Brooklyn traffic, right? Brooklyn traffic in the 70s. It fell off the back of a truck. You clearly witnessed, the fruit cart in front of you gets a bunch of stuff stolen off of it. And then the next one, which is a lumber truck, a couple planks get pulled off the back of it. You don't notice anybody skulking about your wagons, it looks like.
Yeah, of course
Yeah, they better not.
Not with your passive
Don't think anybody
perception
wants
of
to plague.
17.
Yeah, so I give a quick kind of hand signal that nefarious stuff about back to the guard team.
Yeah, if you tell
Okay.
Gunny, I can hear it.
Well, I'm giving a signal back to the lead cart that, it's like, I'm sure we have some
Like
kind
the
of hand
Boomhowler?
signal, but, eyes
Okay.
up. There's nefarious
Okay.
something, so Boomhowler would see that. Yeah, I come up and to the two carts. I'm like, what's going on here? Move your carts.
And
Besides,
immediately as
you're
you
creating
get up,
a hazard here. I know you don't want the plague sitting here. You need to get past.
and as you say that, you walk around the front of the one wagon, and you clearly see these two wagon, pilots fighting in the streets, fisticuff about who started the accident. No weapons have been drawn, but they are basically rolling on the ground fighting, and everyone around them is enjoying the show. Like at one point, guy kind of, as soon as you come around and say, move it because we got the plague, and you see this circle of people starting to make bets on who's going to win the fight. Because 5 fingers.
Yeah.
Fight them all, Callus.
What's that? Whoops. Didn't mean to click that. I was trying to close the.
You do a wounding shot to someone. That gets their attention.
I mean, that'll stop a fight.
It would.
Yeah.
And with your passive perception, you do know that one of the wagons did bump and knock the wheel off the other wagon and scattered some of the wagon's produce on the ground. There is a squished kiwi.
All right.
And I am
So
keeping
nobody paid attention to me talking.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion roll there.
Or an intimidation.
Okay, I'll take
I
an
mean, they're the
intimidation.
same, but I'm up here not trying to persuade. I'm up here on.
You got your medical garb on.
I'm like, get the hell out of the way.
He's using that commander voice.
Yeah.
That's an interesting.
With, because, plague, you're talking plague, you
Yeah.
might want
Especially since you're on this side of Captain's Island, which is closer to Hospice Island, they remember those days. And immediately, one of the guys that looks like he's the bookie making bets here immediately stops and elbows somebody and points at you, and they all look at you at once from the crowd. And clearly they recognize the garb you're wearing. You are wearing traditional, medical assistant garb. And they're like, whoa. Did you say plague? Are you coming from Hospice Island?
Indeed, we are. And I don't think you want the cart sitting here long and potentially spreading the plague through this island.
And he elbows a guy who elbows a guy who elbows a guy, and they all look. And you still see the two drivers. They're fighting each other because, they're regardless of what's going on. They didn't even notice that you came around the corner there and said that. As the crowd's like, let's scram. There's a plague wagon coming, and he turns around and shouts down the street. And the crowd is starting to disperse, but you still have these two guys on the ground punching and kicking each other. As you totally see the guy who's the bookie there handing money back. Bets are off. We need to clear the street before the watch and the plague carts get here.
I'll walk up and whack one of them with the butt of my rifle.
Ooh.
Get their attention.
And as you're
like
about
you want
to
to cause mass panic, you idiot.
And are you going to strike the human or the elf?
Oh,
I'll
good
strike the
question.
elf.
Okay, so as you come walking up and swing the butt of your rifle back to El Kabong, the guy, to knock some sense into him, the camera.
It's not a
swings.
baseball bat strike. It's just a jab butt.
I was gonna say, are you giving him just the soldier nudge with the butt, or the actual butt strike?
Yeah, no, not a full butt strike. Just hey, listen up, pay attention, asshole.
Okay, so as you get your rifle and you cock that elbow back to give him the bump. The camera swings back to wagon number 2 as the group that's locked inside the back of the wagon You all hear somebody with their natural one roll fidgeting with your back door a few minutes after Callus has walked forward to go see what's going on.
Hmm.
That'd be
And
Gunny
it's
in
that,
there, right?
yep.
Gunny is going to let out a really deep guttural growl. And he earlier when Callus was giving the signs, I already got my weapon out. Gunny's sitting there like he's got his great axe out. He's ready, but he growls, hoping that they will be like, ooh, and leave.
Okay, do me a favor and give me an intimidation check from Gunny.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Sorry, I got like
As
15 windows
as
open.
you totally sense in your wagon that Gunny is grumpy. Because, your little telepathic bond with your steam
Oh, poor Gunny. He's so bad at this.
Wow.
He has no charisma, guys.
as apparently his growl just sounded like metal fatigue in the parked wagon. As there's some whisper, and Gunny's telling you that someone's messing with the back of the wagon.
I can't see the back of the wagon, right?
You're in the
because
front
you're in
wagon.
wagon number 1.
Okay.
But you
I'm
can
But
gonna
everybody
have
totally
hears
open.
this, right?
You can
Wagons,
totally
so.
open the slit and yell back to Theo on wagon number 2, because you're in the back of wagon number 1. You have a slit where you can open and yell if you want to yell.
I open and I tell her, Doctor, somebody's trying to get in the back. Would you like me to release the steam jack?
The contents must not be disturbed for the safety of all.
Does it sound like the sound goes away? Does it keep happening?
No, the sound totally is still happening. Somebody's trying to get in the back of the wagon.
Gunny opens the back door.
Okay, so Gunny was moving around the wagon. You guys see this wagon like shifting extreme with the weight of Gunny moving back there. Theo and the pilot look back. It's like, is everything okay back in your cargo back there, ma'am? Doctor? Physician?
Apparently somebody is trying to rob a plague cart.
Well, you're the shotgun rider. And he totally, points down at the bottom of the wagon there. There's a shotgun on a hook.
Nice.
I pull out my own weapon and shoot it.
Where are you shooting your weapon? You don't really have line of sight of what's happening way back there.
Oh, well, then.
You have to climb out of the wagon.
Or across the top.
All right. Let me go across the top.
Oh, I love the aesthetic of her laying across the top, like Callus, like ready to shoot. That's awesome.
So, Theo, as you're climbing to the top, because remember, these are the war wagons, you have lots of cover, so give me an athletics check as you are climbing out and about of your seat to climb over the wagon as
All right.
Gunny is moving back and forth, making this wagon lurch. And Gunny looks at the door and...
Wow.
We're killing it, guys.
As Gunny is going back to open the door, and Theo starts to climb on the wagon and proceeds to fall unceremoniously off the wagon.
Oh, no.
No, it wasn't a one. It's like I fell on my face.
You fell off the wagon.
Get a 1.
Well, a 1 would have been worse. You just slipped and fell off the side of the wagon and took 3 points of damage from the fall. As the driver says, "Mind the first step."
Thanks a lot, asshole. Okay.
Do I see her fall?
If you're looking through the little viewport, yes, you see her. She tried to climb across the top, and with Gunny lurching the thing, she's kind of slid to a plop with a little tweak
I'm out
of
of the
her
back
ankle.
of the wagon. I'm
You're
heading back
opening
there.
your wagon. Interesting. As you open your door. Now, for Gunny, the door's a little difficult for a steam jack to open up. It doesn't have a big industrial opening. It's a people-size opening. Give me a dexterity check for Gunny to open the door, or just feel free to have him do an athletics check. How is Gunny opening the door? Is he opening it abruptly, or is he opening it delicately?
Delicately.
I would like it to be delicately. Is that athletics?
That would be dex.
No.
Athletics is him kicking the door open.
Okay.
You're making this
so
very large robot deal
acrobatics?
with a tiny lock. Nope, it's going to be a dex saving throw.
Oh, just dex. Okay.
Because he's using his big mechanical hands on a little tiny lock.
Nice. But he knows how to hook it just right.
Apparently,
Theo's been teaching him.
He paid attention, and with his big mechanical mitts, he's grabbing this little slide lock and sliding it very delicately as he hears someone futzing with the lock outside. As he opens the door, and there's this duo of goblins. The gobbers just look up at him as he opens the door, and you just see this big steam jack steam bellowing out of the open door now. And the two gobbers are just looking up at the steam jack. And they totally look up at Gunny and say, "Sorry, wrong wagon." And they start to see about disappearing back into the crowd. At the same time,
leaving, don't I get an attack of opportunity?
If Gunny wants, Gunny could get an attack of opportunity on this goblin.
100%. He's gonna try more to use the butt of the great axe to bop them and knock the wind out of them, as opposed to killing them.
Okay, so non-lethal is what you're going for.
Yes.
Okay.
Does the 12 hit?
12 will totally hit.
Goblin abuse.
I don't know how I do non-lethal.
So,
I won't kill him.
When Gunny swings his axe out, what does it look like when he knocks one of the goblins out fucking cold before his compatriot drags him off into the crowd?
He basically hooks them up in the air, and he kind of bops them up in the air like a cat would, and then smacks them, and they just tumble to the ground. And he lets out and he tries for another growl, and starts looking around who wants next.
As some of the passerbys are just like, "What's going on?" As the gobber goes flying through the air to the curb, and the other guy is totally like, "Wrong cart, wrong cart," and goes to go drag his buddy away to a nice alley to recuperate. And Theo on the side of the cart there, you totally hear Gunny's little grrr.
Gunny closes the door back and is just standing there. He's going to be on guard to protect the cart. And I'm going to stay at the back of our cart, and I'm on lookout as well. And I have my pistol out, and I have my other hand free in case I have to throw some magic, because I have had a rest and I have hocus pocus.
Nice.
No. Thank goodness.
Okay, and if that whole thing happens, Theo, I assume you're going to scamper back in the car, or you're going to check the door?
Yes.
I threw which two options?
You know what? I'm going to scamper back since Gunny's got the...
Okay, you notice that there's two gobbers, hobbling off to the alleyway, but the door is closed, and you just, hear the happy Gunny sound.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever happened happened and seems all safe. Give me a perception check.
Okay, perception.
Busy city street in Captain Island is all you're seeing with that mighty 3.
Yes, and I am nursing my ego and my bum.
Your slight tweaked ankle.
That's okay. Nobody can sneak up on Callus or I, so we're okay.
Right?
And are you getting back into the wagon there, Theo?
Yes.
Driver totally hits a pedal, and a little ladder pops down to make it easy for you to get back in.
Much appreciated.
He's trying to make up for that moment.
You got the accessible wagon.
As the camera pops back to where we see Callus is getting ready to pop the guy with the rifle butt, go ahead and give me I'll take charm, persuasion, more importantly, intimidation with your dex as the modifier, because you're striking him to intimidate him to break it up. I sense that that's what you're going for. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes. All right. So I can use
So if you
do
want-
a dex save instead.
Yep.
All right.
And immediately your pop of the rifle gets these two to look at you, and they realize the crowd's gone, and you're just give them the shrug. They see your outfit, they see your rifle, and they both like scamper away from you for a second to make sure that they're not contaminated. As they both get to their feet and actually help each other up, and they look at you and have this exacerbation of what's going on. Who died?
You're hampering the transport of plague bodies. Need to get your shenanigans over with. Get your carts moved. And I point at some other people that look kind of hardy that's standing around. It's like, you, get over here. Help them fix that wheel and move these carts.
And immediately with, military precision of someone who's seen some shit and knows some shit, you grab the right folks. They get between these two wagons and separate them and pick up the one with the tire that fell off, and they slap the tire back on. And in few seconds, they push the two carts back into it, and the two drivers that now have bumps and bruises and black eyes and busted noses look at each other and scowl, but they whip their mounts to get the wagons rolling. And the hubbub is broken up as you guys are back into moving there.
No. Hand a couple copper to each of the participants that helped with the wagons.
Oh, as a lot of the folks give you the good solid, head nod, And are you heading back to wagon number 2?
And then I kind of give a growl and turn and make my way purposely back, to the wagon.
Callus is so sour. And as you get back to the back of cabin number 2, you clearly see somebody since you were there last, the lock's got scratches around it, like someone tried to pick it very poorly. Actually, extremely poorly. There was a natural one involved, so you see a little piece of a broken lockpick on the ground.
Nice. I get in and just kind of give Gunny a pat on the shoulder.
No.
Good job, good done. Well done holding up down the fort.
Gunny's so happy. Callus never gives him praise. Oh.
No.
Aw.
As the drivers make their way through, continuing on. Oh, crap, it's a bad day in the captain's island.
Wow.
As you guys are continuing on past the port area, and you end up finding out that there is a bit of delay, and your driver's like, oh, I wonder which one of the captains is involved in this. Because immediately you notice that there's a bunch of the watch and a few of the captain's guard that basically have the road stopped off.
Oh my god.
As there's apparently a procession of visiting dignitary coming by, as like a little mini parade of wagons go through, as everyone is stopped traffic wise. You see there's like militia guys arm in arm with each other blocking your path, as everybody's like, who knew, it's Captain's Thoroughfare Day. As you guys spend 3 fucking hours stopped up in traffic.
Oh my. Oh, we can't have that.
As your wagon driver there is just like, this crap happens all the time.
This is
Time of day is it now?
Hey,
It is
Boom.
now daylight. By the time traffic stopped and you guys start moving again, and your driver's like, well, it's the 5 fingers where business doesn't get done quickly.
Your type of business should be done quicker than this, I would think.
As you're giving him crap, and he's just like, hey, I got you to the bridge of Captain's Island. As you guys see the bridge there, you see on Chaser Island there's ropes and zip lines going across the bridge. It's total danger zone. As he's just like, so just remember, on Chaser Island, we can either pay our way across or we can talk our way across. I'm following your lead.
What's quicker, typically?
Hey,
As
Probably
how-
paying. We're going to pay.
Depends how quick of a talker you are.
I will give him 100 gold and say just pay our way.
100 gold. See, give me an insight check.
Oh dear.
I mean, you might have asked what the going rate.
I could have, but I'm in a hurry.
He says, do you want me to use all of this? And you get the idea that you overpaid a bit. Or do you want me to save this for the rest of the bribes across the way?
It's for it's bribing for the trip plus 15 for your incentive.
Oh! As he counts out a stack of coins and drops them in his own pouch real quick. As you guys get to the bridge, he looks over at the guy. They mumble a couple words. You don't happen to speak thieves' cant, do you?
I'm a pirate, not a thief.
Okay.
Wow. I'm a doctor.
Actually, I don't have my languages down, but no, I don't. I don't.
Do you have a
speak
passive perception better than 21? That's a joke.
I've got a. I mean, Callus does. I only have 9.
As there is this beautiful, smooth handoff of a large stack, or I should say 10 large stacks of coins to the watch guy on the bridge. And the watch guy immediately tips his cap, turns over to the guy, hands the watch member next to him his tricorn hat and says, I'll be back in a few hours. Hand me a horse. And he proceeds to get one of the horses they've got ready at the waiting. And he gets on the horse and he puts on a different watch cap that's got like a big red streamer of a feather. Totally meant to get attention. As he gets on his horse and he gestures back to the driver and says, keep up with me. And immediately you're getting a watch escort across the bridge as he's yelling at people to move away. Priority shipment across the aisles. As immediately you guys feel both wagons, those of you in the back of the wagons, this is the fastest you felt the wagons lurch, as they immediately get a watch escort across the island, speeding you past any problems for that 50 gold as you are flying across Chaser Island. I mean, it is called Chaser Island after a ship moves very fast. And he gets you to the next bridge of Chaser Island. And then Dolith Island Watch totally waves to him. He stops, and your driver totally reaches over and gives a handshake to the watch member saying, very important work. as you totally don't see his even better handoff of coins. As you guys go flying with your guard across the island, as you hit Dolith Island, you hit the 3 maidens. You take the further bridge because it's got less of a stop. Then you go across, and then you're making great time as we're getting the dun 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 on the
Right.
map. As you do a little double back, as you go across the tiny bridge where there's no coin handoff, as you go through the littler of the three maidens, and you make it to Bellicose Island. And the watch guard that's been driving you with the horse, you can see his horse is tired after this. It's only been like an hour that you just made the fastest drive, Need for Speed style, across the islands. As he totally waves at you guys and peels off to go park his horse and get a drink. You are now on Bellicose Island.
And that's a great place to wrap it up there.
Thank you for listening to D&D Journey of the 5th Edition, a member of the Creative Play and Podcast Network. Please follow us on Patreon at patreon.com/CPPN to never miss a show or stream.
What's this strange light stuff you posted?
Oh, that's the new expansion they came out with the Kickstarter last year for. Basically, it's Iron Kingdom's Ghostbusters. And I backed the Kickstarter, and the expansion will be out in August, they project. But the early PDFs are out. So it's basically Ghostbusters and Iron Kingdoms.
Well, they do
Okay.
have a lot of ghosts and specters and undead. So
Well, we already had our
And-
spooky spiritual stuff, so we're good for anymore.
I enjoyed playing a specter at RinCon one year.
Oh,
Nice.
the Ghost Pirate one.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed playing the Spectre for a while too. I'm super excited for the Ghostbusters though.
We ain't afraid of no specters.
Just seen the
Because-
undead from the other side for a while.